see, we are putting the cart before the horse. The Delhi government is a half a government. It is not full. And secondly, this disease, the key to combating this disease lies in prevention, not in treatment. Prevention has failed in Delhi. Police has failed to impose the restrictions, that is required. That you go out in Delhi, I'll tell you, people are not wearing masks. They're not, forget about physical distancing. In a capital city of the country, numbers of people are not using, police are not seen on the road. Police themselves are not using masks. Who will implement that? It is the central government. Police is with the central government. The implementation of the restrictions have failed in Delhi. That is why this rapid rise of cases. It has spiked. Treatment is the mitigation of this disease is really it's firefighting, and it is people are surviving on their own. Even if you have thousands of beds, you are not going to cure them because there is no cure for this disease. So let us talk of prevention, not mitigation. And on prevention, it is not Delhi government's jobs alone. It is the central government. And we have seen this turf war in Delhi
Giri,
on any case, even in this pandemic. Yeah. Yes. No, of course, this is what R.P. Singh said. R.P. Singh started with blaming the Delhi Health Minister that he said it is 44 degrees. And the facts have to be, not political, the facts have to be stated.
This is not about center state all the time.
It is the center's job. It is the half a state. The central government is here. What is the police doing?
Under Epidemic Act, whatever Delhi government, Delhi SDM says, MCD, police have to act according to them. And you better take care of health, sir. You don't seem to be well.
Yes, do that. Why are you, Mr. R.P. Singh, why are you not asking people to wear masks? What is the police doing? You had the lockdown, you did it, sir, and what is the police doing now? Your policemen are not wearing masks. They are dying out of COVID. What is the discipline?
Whatever Delhi government restrict Delhi police, MCD will apply that.
That is humbug. That is humbug. Delhi police does not listen to Delhi government. It listens to the Lieutenant Governor and the Home Minister. That is humbug, R.P. Singh. Don't pull that cotton on our eyes. No. It's not correct. Not correct. You will go to any extent to damage a government. You will go to any extent. You pull down a government, you will damage a reputation of a government. Delhi government doing a fantastic job. The distribution of ration, the food, whatever the engineers are doing it. It is only Delhi state in the whole country where people are getting free food every day.
Fantastic job according to you.
3,600, sir, give me a minute, sir. 3,677 tons ration was sent, only 60 tons.
No, BJP government,
so don't get into this, please.
BJP will go to any extent to damage the reputation of any government. They have pulled down two governments and they could not pull down Delhi, so they want to damage it. That is the precise thing. And this is the only state which is distributing food, dry food and cooked food every day. Go out and see it in Delhi. It is the police and law enforcement which has failed in Delhi.
I can't do anything. No. If he says I can't.
Yes, because you are in center. Because you are in the center, you are controlling the police. The credit goes to the center for the number of cases in Delhi. The credit entirely goes to the center.
Professor Giri.
Absolutely.
Heard your point. I want to get now Dr. Sanjeev Bagai. Dr. Sanjeev Bagai, I want to ask you, how do you think the ground situation is? Do you think the Delhi government is doing a good job? Do you think Delhi has enough hospital beds? Do you think the situation is alarming? Because as a doctor, you are meeting patients, you are seeing what the ground reality is, sir. What's happening? How do you think it can be tackled?
Good evening. I think we are in the middle of a huge tempest, and this is of an unprecedented scale. And we are dealing with so many random improbables and probables that, of course, the situation is grim. But I still feel medically and in terms of administration, it can still be salvaged to a great extent. I'll just mention 4 very quick points and just allow me 2 minutes to explain this on scientific facts. The only way we can still salvage and contain it is if we do adequate testing. It's a judicious mix between the ELISA rapid test and the PCR test. We have to do sample testing of the asymptomatic carriers, otherwise you don't know who are the potential people ready to spread the infection. The second point is we need a very good and synthetic integration of government and private beds. The person in crisis, the patient in crisis must know which is the closest and the most accessible hospital where the person needs to go to. He doesn't know the central and the state and the MCD hospital. So it's information for them where they can reach. We need to enhance the capacity. There are ways to reshuffle the bed mix to enhance the capacity within the pre-existing hospitals. The third very important point is if we have pricing policies which are very variable, the dysfunctional pricing policy is baffling. If you have pricing which is so high, it's going to put the healthcare out of reach of almost everyone. Pricing of ICU beds going up to 70,000, 75,000 with exclusions is not fair for a common person. The private hospitals cannot make a loss, but we need to find a midpoint in which the healthcare is accessible and affordable and the hospitals don't go at a loss. And last, most importantly, is we need to protect our workforce, our doctors, our nurses, our paramedics. A lot of the doctors are falling ill because of COVID. We need to protect them. We need to pay them in time. We need to give them incentive. We need to recognize their dedication. And the last most important point is the reason why the public anger will continue to rise is we need a public redressal system under the CM's office. If a person is in need, it's a hunting number. A person can address the problem. The person doesn't have to go from one emergency room to another emergency room, either because of a lack of bed or lack of facilities. I think we need a comprehensive, integrated approach. All our efforts are to salvage the situation. The situation is grim. It will get a little worse because the numbers are rising. I will not be worried about the total numbers. More we test, more positives we'll find. That's a good sign because you have identified the load then. We have to keep the case fatality to the minimum.